Guys, how you been? Jason here. Got one little thing to share with you, and it is this, which came with the Croix de Guerre core module that I finally received a few days ago. And not a whole lot to this, but nonetheless, let's take a look inside and see what we got. This, of course, Winter Offensive Bonus Pack number 11. And I should preface this by saying Winter Offensive has been going on for, I think this is its this past year was its 30th year, and it deals with primarily ASL stuff. At least I think that's how it started, its intention. And then along the way, the other games began being played. So I think the great campaigns of the American Civil War, for instance, is played among other things. It may in fact be a, I've never been, so a late night Euro games little deal that goes on, and probably I would imagine some other titles from the MMP catalog. But again, primarily it is an ASL oriented or focused event. There's a tournament for that. Now this isn't quite as, I don't know if popular is the right word, but the ASL tournament, right, is Oktoberfest. I think this comes in a tight second place as far as ASL tournaments go. Nonetheless, anything else I need to say about this? I should add, all proceeds for this event go to the World War II Foundation. So that said, I think that covers all the pertinent particulars. All right. You know how much money they could save if they would stop printing these? What is this? Were you at MMP or dedicated? Yeah, I get all that. Stuff we already know. Okay. I don't know why they do that. I guess quality control type thing. All right, so Winter Offensive Bonus Pack number 11. And this also takes place in December. 3 days, 3+ day event, something like that, in Bowie, Maryland. So if you intended to go and missed it, you'll have to wait till next December to attend. Now, the cover for this, artistically speaking, and I know it doesn't mean a whole hill of beans, but I don't think I like it. But that does not affect gameplay in one way or another, obviously. But I just feel like it's the colors that's not doing it for me. But that said, we've got with this one 3 scenarios. So Winter Offensive 33, 34, and 35. And then we have one new board, and this is the newest style rather of the ASL boards. Of course, everything's the thin starter kit style these days. But this one's a little more, and I don't know the exact hex ratio, but a little more square than your traditional rectangular ASL map board. And this would be 13A and 13B. So there's 13A. A lot going on there, huh? 13B as well. Tons of cover. And I thought about this recently, how accurate games are in portraying cover. And I guess you could go off on a tangent and have an argument and start a fight, but it seems like, and I imagine this is done intentionally in order to help facilitate gameplay, but I feel like games in general are very generous with their offering of cover. Then again, the areas depicted here probably more accurately reflect terrain, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. What do we got here? One-Eyed Jacques, rather. One-Eyed Jacques? I don't think they're talking about Jacques Cousteau, but could be. This is French and German, 5 turns. You've got some guns, some vehicles. And this takes place in France, 1940. Then you have 34, Feast Day. What is Feast Day about? This is Germans and Canadians. Dan, there's your people. and 6 turns. And so far, both of these use just the board that's included. This will take place in Italy in 43. We've got, for the Germans, no vehicles or guns, but you do have 3 vehicles for the Canadians. And then finally we have 35, Heroes Day, and this would be, how about that? British and Indonesian? 45 in Indonesia. Let's see, the Japanese surrender in August, blah, blah, blah. Creating a sudden power vacuum in the largely ignored Dutch East Indies. Now, for to play this scenario, you will need, looks like board 8B that bumps up to this. So if you just get this, you won't be able to play this scenario. And what else does it say? Let's just read this, shall we? The Dutch were in no position to reclaim administrative duties over such a large area. So the British were tasked with restoring civil order. Commonwealth troops released Allied POWs and interned European citizens and disarmed the Japanese garrison. Meanwhile, an indigenous popular sovereignty movement took root, resulting in a declaration of independence and the formation of a government. The British misread the size and popularity of the movement, failing to recognize the deep Indonesian dissatisfaction with lack of full self-rule. In October, some Indonesians went on a brutal mass killing spree. I didn't know any of this. Aimed primarily at freed Europeans, non-combatant internees. A slaughter the fledgling Indonesian government could not contain. In response, the British landed Indian troops to restore order, but a misunderstanding about the terms of Indonesian disarmament resulted in additional unrest. Rioting by mobs of young Indonesians broke out, with the Indian forces thinly spread throughout the city. Brigadier A.W.S. Malaby set out unarmed in a civilian car to attempt to restore common order to the city streets. Now, that's interesting. Something I knew nothing about, and the further reason why ASL should be taught in history class in high school. Learn a lot, right? And then, as per usual, you get your aftermath of what happened historically. I'll let you guys read that on your own. So that's that, your winter offensive bonus pack for this episode. Bonus pack number 11, 30 years in the making, winter offensive, Bowie, Maryland. All right, you guys, talk to you next time.